At the question here.
Hi, Kylie.
Whoa! So, in words, explain the chain rule. Jaden, no?
I was going to ask an irrelevant question, but I was going to wait till after.
Okay. Explain the chain rule in words, please. Yes, Placido.
Take the derivative of the outside function, keep the inside function the same, and then take the derivative of the inside function and then multiply them.
That is exactly 100% correct, and that's all you need to know about the chain rule. Take the derivative of the outer function first, keeping the inside function the same, and then go ahead and multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. Precisely. Yes.
Is it okay if I ask an irrelevant question?
Yes.
Can you put peanut butter in a blender?
Yes.
You sure can.
As long as you have some.
Because I know, you know, we're trying to help my man gain weight.
There we go.
I'm going to get you on this, don't worry.
I will literally bring a blender.
I will text you what you're going to eat for breakfast.
You eat like 1,000 proteins.
Keep in mind, my stomach is about that big.
Keep in mind that it takes me, sometimes, when I first started this, it took me an hour and a half to eat breakfast. It was so much food.
All right.
I should start eating more.
So we are going to keep going with the chain rule today. Yesterday we learned the basics. Today we're going to integrate it into the quotient rule and the product rule. So I got 3 examples for you. I am going to give you a 60-second head start on this to get as far as you can, and then I will slowly complete it myself.
You cannot.
Go.
I wasn't prepared. That was not a full 60 seconds.
I might wait a little bit longer than a minute.
It takes a minute to write it down.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll give you a 100-second head start.
product rule. Okay. May I ask a question?
Guess I better get
Yes.
myself on then.
Which do you do first?
You should do the product rule
First. Yes, that's what I thought.
Are you going to do the product rule or for all that?
Yep.
I have that.
1, 2, 3,
It's on my
Okay, I'm
notes.
still lost.
7,
So,
9,
Well, you take the...
okay, I understand it.
So to do the product rule, you would take the
Wait a
second part, and
second.
then you would take that. Yeah.
Maybe?
Or maybe not.
We're chilling. We got it.
I'm thinking maybe not.
You do the product
or
rule, and then
write.
before you take the derivative of the second, like the part that's behind it, you do the chain before the derivative.
That sounded right. I just don't know what that meant.
Within
Wait, I got this.
the product rule, you've got a chain.
Me with a blank sheet of paper coming to teach you.
Should you have 4 quantities? Wait. You know how Mr. Janetsky sung the Jeopardy theme song in chapel? Not Jeopardy.
Yeah, it was Jeopardy.
You can get sued by Jeopardy Incorporated for using copyrighted music in a non-transformative manner.
I bet it's fair use.
Now you have copyright ties.
No, because I remember one time I was reading the fairy
Are we gonna
music
sue
guide,
him?
and there was a
Yeah.
loophole. If it's during
Okay.
chapel, you're allowed to sing.
You want help?
Um,
If I can get money, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll pay you like
no, wait.
2,000?
Do it.
I'll
want me to
pay
hold
you
up
like
a bit?
$500.
Sure.
Wait, when you have
That's
to
better than nothing.
Wait, let me see what that is.
Wait.
As soon as you start writing, I'll give up and just watch.
Okay, got it. I'll give you guys a good amount of time here. See what you can do.
Wait, then you...
Product rule comes first. You will have to do the chain rule within the product rule, though.
Mr. Hathaway.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Beatmania 2DX28 Distros?
I mean, it sounds like those are a bunch of cool words together. I'm excited. What is it?
It's the next installment in the Beatmania 2DX series.
Oh.
I'm not even. Yeah, dull.
Oh. I'm more looking forward to Mario Kart.
I was like,
Or was it Mario Kart? I forget.
Mario Kart. Well,
Party,
we can't just do Mario Kart.
because then you would have to move the 4 and that.
No, I'm getting Mario Kart ready. Push my button.
Comes for
The other plus maybe.
Well, what do you do about the 3x squared minus 1?
then use
You need to do the quadratic formula.
Don't make it very easy.
Real quick, class opinion, which is better, Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart Double Dash?
Mario Kart DS.
But I feel
That's the right
like that
answer.
makes sense, but I feel like there's another
Double
step.
Dash and Wii, which one's better?
Cause that makes sense, Ben.
Alright.
But
I have 6 terms. Is that anything?
But I feel like
Yeah,
there's
6 terms.
Yeah.
It's usually
Hey!
usually the simple solution is the right solution.
okay. It just seemed like there was another
I don't know what to do now.
No,
step.
no, you could do it.
You don't need to simplify, so you might be all finished.
Wait, how many terms?
Sure.
It's not big.
I did not simplify mine. I ended up with like 3 sections, or 6 sections. Right there.
Yeah? That sounds
Okay, either
good.
drop all the
I may have done
Okay,
things.
so the reason why
Nobody looked at it.
Nice.
or
How do you end up with
financial
6?
Well, the 2 is like.
Oh, is it
so-
2 yet? Yeah, 2x, yeah, so you have to.
Okay, I was complicating numbers in my
I
brain.
was thinking 1, so.
Sure. All right, we'll go through this one together. We'll see how you did. So if we gotta take the derivative of this, we're gonna have to do the product rule first. So product rule says I'm gonna pull this one out. So it's gonna be 2x plus 1 to the 5th times the derivative of this guy over here. And then I have to add to that the exact opposite.
Mario Kart Double Dash is now down there. 8 hours, 54 minutes.
What do you want?
All right, so this is your setup. This is how you take those derivatives, or at least your beginning point. So, of the 6 little spots that you're going to end up with in the end, here's the first one. 2x plus 1 to the 5th. That remains the same because we pulled it up. Then we have to take the derivative of this. This is, yep, this is a chain rule thing. Yep, so 4 comes out in front. Yep.
Same thing inside.
We got 3. And yes, we multiply that by what?
3x squared minus 1?
Yep. Because when we take the derivative of the inner function, 3 comes out in front, this becomes a 2, that becomes a 1, and that's how that works.
So you call what you have so far 3 terms?
Yes. So these are our 3 terms so far. Number 4 is just that, for the same reason. Then we got to derive this. This is another chain rule thing. 5 lands in front. Exponent becomes a 4.
Oh, I forgot the product.
Yep.
I'm so proud.
And then we multiply that by the derivative of the inner, which is, of course, the number 2.
Yeah! See, I don't know why in my head, when I was trying to do the chain rule first and then take the derivative of the chain rule already.
Ooh,
And
that sounds intense.
That's why I was like, there's a step
I did the
missing.
same thing.
Okay. Okay. Guys, I did it.
All right.
That's why in my head.
Yeah.
I'll leave this up here a little bit.
Middle step. because
I'm
I'm
also replacing my switch to have your way conceivable.
I think the camera can see it over here. When I explain the answer to this one, I'll put it on the left. So here is what you have to do next. Take the derivative of the following quotient.
Bro.
It's just quotient rule now, guys.
Not anymore.
No!
Now this one, 9's way out here. You're going to have to do chain rule before you do quotient rule.
Oh, no. You think this is fun, Mr. Hancock?
Yes, I'm loving it. I didn't love it the first couple times
So
I
you
did.
take proper rate of
My brain does not want to do it simply, but I
when
know
we don't get
there's a
momentum,
simple
we're
way.
just working on law.
This is a Mick problem.
I didn't know we were combining this class with criminal justice. Okay, so you have this one.
This one's not going to be quite as long as the last one, but
Very confused.
That's the spirit pop. It's all,
You have to
all
do the
okay.
chain rule
It's
9
fine.
times.
no. You just do the chain rule once.
Okay. Then you end up with 3. But then you just have to get rid of the fraction.
You guys okay?
Wait, I don't think you have the chain rule. You do the chain rule separate from the numerator and the denominator.
No. No, the chain rule's just bringing the 9 out in front. This becomes an 8.
Yeah.
And then you know, that's the derivative of the outer, and then you got to take the derivative of the inner, which is just the quotient rule.
Okay. Can we go back to the other problem?
No.
Yeah, no, right.
The other one was like the other. You had to do the other one in a different way because you had the product rule. You had the chain rule within a product rule. This is the quotient rule within a chain rule. So it's
Okay, and
You know.
then once you do
I'm
with
picking up
the
the line
chain
down.
part, do you
Wait.
multiply, add it, subtract it, divide it to the quotient rule?
I missed that. What?
So you get the chain rule part,
Okay.
and then you're doing the inside, which is the quotient rule.
I don't
What
think
do you do to the chain part with the quotient? Like, do you
Yeah, you multiply.
Okay.
Is that everything if you in parentheses though?
Yeah.
Extra,
Let's see if you got her.
you make it dated assumption with reference to.
This is all just killing time until the next one, which I'm looking forward to.
I did it different.
Did you get the same answer?
I don't know.
Mario Kart is almost ready to go. Just give me a minute.
Oh, when we do it different and get different answers, that's the best.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm playing
Where did the 1/18 come from?
Oh, never mind. It's 1 to 9. It should be 1 to
1/9.
9. Well, okay. Yeah, it should be. Then ignore the simplified part.
I don't think you can go from here to here.
Why can't I simplify it? Because if you put the 9 back in, you have to multiply 9 on the top and 9 on the bottom, right? So like
Yeah.
So let's
Because this 9 applies to the entire.
I know where 18 comes from.
Okay, so I
This is
thought I
1
did it
half.
twice. But
It's a
now I
fraction, so
actually
it's
did
1
it
half.
on the
This is
third
on the
time.
bottom,
But
so
I
it's 1
caught
half.
every mistake
1 half
I
times
made.
9.
So I still did it right. Yay.
I don't know if you can do that or not. I would maybe
I
check
think I
this
did
with
it.
Mr. Mason or something. I've never seen that before. So if that's something you can do, that's great, and then your answer would be just fine, just worded differently. But yeah, I haven't seen that way of doing it before.
Well, I don't know. I just used the. Sounds right, but
I just assume because I haven't had a math class in a long time. I just know the calculus stuff. So if you guys know like specific math rooms that allow you to do things, I might not even
I know.
recognize them.
Fine.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do this one too here. So we've got our value up there. G of t is equal to quantity t minus 2 over 2t plus 1, everything to the 9th. So, as I mentioned, we got to do chain rule first and then quotient rule afterwards. So the 9's going to come out in front, and we keep the inner part the same. And this is to the 8th. And now, all we got to do is take the derivative of the inner, because we just took the derivative of the outer. So, quotient rule all the way. So I'm going to pull out the denominator, multiply that by the derivative of the upper function. T is our variable this time. And then I got to subtract and do the opposite.
Bum, bum.
So there you go. And now we just got to multiply through.
No, don't you have to divide it by?
Well, you have to divide
Oh,
it
yeah.
by
Yep.
2t plus 1 squared.
Yep. Good call.
Where did you get that square from?
The squared is in the quotient rule.
Oh.
all divided by the denominator squared. And then you can do the top stuff. So, and this is just 1. Derivative of t is going to be 1.
2t plus 1. Just
Yeah. Yeah, 2t plus 1. And then we've got that minus.
2t minus 4.
I
So
wrote
it's,
fancy short, it's
minus
I wrote
2t plus
shorthand.
Right. Yeah, that's just going to be 2 over there. Yep. So if you want to multiply that through, feel free to do that. And that's all divided by that squared, which I'm not going to touch.
4t squared plus 4t plus 4t.
Yeah. If you want to foil it,
Simplify as little
go
as
for it.
possible.
But
It's kind of like
yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
Well, 'cause this is called.
I respect the grind. But what about like the 9 and 8?
Oh, yeah. I suppose we can actually.
Yeah, I was like.
See, I skipped right
This
into
is- I mean, this is
derivatives
like its
'cause
own
I
thing.
just didn't want to rewrite the 9.
So yeah, this is the derivative of the inner function. So because this is the derivative of the inner function, you got to multiply it by the derivative of the
I'm
outer.
confused.
Wow.
for the girls.
Yeah.
You get it bored?
Curls. Wait, you have to time that.
Yeah, this is multiply.
Oh no.
Yep. So derivative of outer times derivative of inner. What's that?
Rolls for the girls.
Well, you have to solve it? No, not with like just numbers. Okay, I got one more for you, and then I'll turn you loose on the rest of the homework. Any last questions on this?
Why are you over
Can we
there?
do
Beth?
it with the cosine?
Keep it down, guys. Keep it down. Go ahead. That's okay.
Is your third example something that has like e to the x or cosine or sine or something?
Oh, you'll see.
Okay.
Broke my internet because I just
Actually, it's longer than worksheet 2. And then by the time
Yep,
you actually
worksheet
get
is
out of
gonna
the
be due
school,
tomorrow.
it'll be even longer than that. Only 5?
We're just waiting for
Six,
today.
seven, We're just listening to it.
Oh.
Once practice starts.
Monday is 5 hours. What time is it? 3 to 8? 1 through
All right.
6.
Okay, that's fun.
Go for it. What is the sine of the cosine of the tangent of x? Take its derivative, please. This is chain rule on steroids.
I'm pretty
I
sure it's not a
appreciate-
game until you start writing letters down.
I think that's
Oh, never mind. We have more
It
time.
is. These aren't even like the regular steroids. They're like the black market kind.
I don't like
The black
this.
market
They
has
don't
one
like
stop on
me.
it.
Just
No
like,
kidding,
wait till
right?
the WIA finds about this guy.
I don't think I'm not coaching anymore. What's that?
If they can't make it legal because
You're
creatine's
having
in
tennis?
beats.
No,
It's
I'm not.
natural.
My wife has piano students, and yeah, a lot of them come to the house at like 4:30. So I just got to come home and take care of the little guy while she
Yes.
teaches those.
You just gotta be in the living room.
Who's the other coach?
Cole Morgan, and we got a new guy this year who's really good.
Oh,
I forget his name, but he's like a superstar tennis guy.
I feel like Mr. Colmorgan would be
But
like,
you
guys
guys
are
went
good hands.
into the summer one then, right? It was Ben Mark or
When
whatever.
do you
Yeah.
ever use
Okay.
the sine, cosine of tangent?
When are you going to use it?
When do you ever use
when
it?
you want to find the complete value of a triangle.
When you're looking for the meaning of life using mathematics, that's when you're
If
going
you're
Well,
looking for the
it's
meaning
12.
of life using mathematics, we have bigger problems.
to. That's true. You're absolutely right.
Oh, I thought it was 12.
Meaning of life?
That's what I thought too. I don't blame
Hey, is your name meaning of life or something?
you.
Maybe.
Girl, are you a fire alarm? Because you're really loud and annoying.
Placido.
What?
Placido. I honestly, that's why.
I'll take my ring, thank you.
What?
Girl, are you a fireman? Because you're really loud.
You're not checking, right? Okay.
Hands up, hands up. Placido, 10 out of 10.
So you do your best impression of fireworks.
Girl,
This
are
is
you
long.
The whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you take.
Oh my goodness.
Stop it! Placido, you like 200%
Stop
Stop it!
Oh my goodness.
Take another minute or two.
I think I did it.
Placido, you gotta turn the volume off. Thanks.
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't have to be in it. Bare necessity.
I'm so sorry, Kylie. Oh my goodness.
Well, we gotta take the derivative of the outer first. It's always derivative of the outer times derivative of the inner.
I'm struggling.
So derivative of the,
Yeah. So you have to do
the outermost function first,
the
keeping the inside the same, and then you multiply that by the inner.
So we have to work on the sign.
Yeah.
Inside.
I think I did it, but don't ask me for the answer.
Okay.
Okay, is sine the outer side and then is sine the outer side?
Oh,
It's like
Sine do the equals outside. Do the inside one first and do the
No, he said we have to do the outside first.
You know, with as bad as this looks, when I explain it, I think you'll
I'm
get it
like, I know
pretty
it's
quickly.
simple, but it's like
do it, but I'll let you do it first.
right? It's like, I think I did it, but we'll just see. I hate erasing. Erasing,
You know?
right? And be like, yeah, that's totally what I got.
I don't know.
That inside of the chain rule
Sine. Yeah, right.
30 seconds. Get
I'm
us
not doing
started.
it.
All right,
Like,
3
you
seconds.
You guys are ready?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, someone
Okay.
said I spent like 15 minutes on the same question and I wasn't even close to the answer.
For
So
how?
I had an entire page.
I'll rip it Forget it.
Just rip the page.
Oh, I know.
So again,
But I didn't know that's not for that question.
the chain rule is the derivative of the outer function, keeping the inner function the same, and then you multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. So what's my outermost function here? Okay. So that means the beginning of what I'm going to write is going to be the derivative of sine, which is?
Oh, so.
Yep. So cosine, and I got to keep the inner functions the same now.
Oh, alright.
And then do you do, because cosine is the outermost function of tan.
Exactly. So now we're dealing with the derivative of the inner function. And so now we've got a chain rule within the chain rule,
Okay.
because there's this and this. So cosine is the outermost function of the inner function. So we have to take the derivative of this first, the cosine part of it, because it's the outermost one. So what's the derivative of cosine?
Negative sine.
Very good. Negative sine, keeping the inner function the same. And then finally, we take that and multiply it by the derivative of the innermost function. Secant squared.
I did it! Heck
That's not too bad.
yeah.
You just have to keep straight what's inner and what's outer and make sure you're in the habit of doing the outer one first. So.
It's all fun and games. till you do
Okay,
it.
I'm
Guys, I finally got the level 2.
Now do this.
Okay.
No,
Totally.
no, 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 no,
Never
no,
mind,
no, no, no. I'm
That would be like walk out of the classroom. Okay.
I thought this one was one
So-
part of the classroom.
All right, you got the rest of the time. Work on whatever's left of the homework. That'll be due tomorrow then.
Okay, 4 and 6
So-
still slightly concerning.
Ah, you'll be fine.
Can you still explain?
I'll have to.
I don't know where, because it's the
Let me just take a look at those. 4 and 6. So you got.
This
This
is
is
the
your-
innermost.
Yep. And you're gonna have to do the product rule up here.
Why? X equals cosine.
Yeah. And that's just product rule. And well, actually, no. Yeah, you would have to do chain rule a little bit up here. Because remember, e to the whatever is always e to the whatever. But then whatever's in your exponent, because we got a square up there,
Right.
we're going to have to take the derivative of that.
Right.
Oh, we don't care about this
I'll just pretend. Just pretend you know.